4 months to a general election, and yet it doesn't feel like an election period. No rising political tension, no sense of urgency in the air, no unmistakable shift in the national mood. It's just calm. And that calm is unusual because elections, especially consequential ones, are rarely quiet. They come with pressure, momentum, a sense that something is about to change. So if there's that feeling that you expect and that feeling is missing, we have to ask, why? A true wind of change is not subtle. It shows up in conversations, in communities, in the growing belief that something else is actually possible. It is driven by two forces: dissatisfaction and an alternative. You need both, actually. Without dissatisfaction, there is no push. Without an alternative, there is nowhere to go. So let's apply that test to the present moment. Is there widespread, unmistakable dissatisfaction strong enough to drive change? And just as importantly, is there a clear, credible alternative ready to receive it? Because if either of this is missing, the wind of change cannot form. What we are witnessing may not be political absence, but political clarity. For many citizens, the current administration is still within its evaluation window. Key economic processes, debt restructuring, fiscal stabilization, structural reform are long-term by nature. They do not produce immediate transformation, but they do require time. And so the national question may not yet be who replaces this leadership, but rather, has this leadership been given enough time to complete what it started? At the same time, the opposition landscape appears very familiar. Recurring figures, established narratives, limited reinvention. But elections that produce change typically require disruption, a new energy, a new message, a new face that redefines contest. Without that disruption, the political equation remains largely unchanged. There is also a quieter force at play: stability. In uncertain economic periods, electorates often become more cautious, less experimental, more deliberate. Continuity begins to feel less like complacency and more like strategy. And perhaps the Zambian voter is evolving. The Zambian voter is less reactive, less swept up in political waves, but more observant and more patient, waiting not for the noise, but for the results. So then we arrive at a possibility that is rarely stated openly. What if the absence of a wind of change is not accidental? What if it is a reflection of a population that is not actively seeking change? Of course, political environments can shift rapidly. History has shown us that momentum can build quietly and then arrive at once. So this moment should not be mistaken for certainty, but it should be observed, because in politics, absence is not emptiness, it is information. 4 months to go, and the question remains, not just who will win, but whether the country is even looking for change. This is Politics Aside. We'll see you next time.